Alright, so many of you are pipe smokers, and you have heard through one way or another that pipe smokers have a higher life expectancy than the average population, much less cigarette smokers. I've read that the Japanese have the highest, I think it is, male smoking population in the industrialized world, with the second lowest lung cancer rate. The reason I mention that is that cigarettes in Japan are different from American cigarettes. The real problem, without claiming that tobacco is good for you, the real problem is that big tobacco adds so much shisa to their products, and a lot of artificial stuff. This is the snus packaging for Camel in 2013. It's halfway through the year. I discovered the new packaging about 3 months ago. I went through a period where I didn't have any of the Camel Snus. And I'm finally getting around to doing a review of it. So I go into the convenience store. I was on a road trip, which is what brought me back to the snus. Just looking for some tobacco to get me through my drive. And lo and behold, the lady doesn't reach into that little cooler Camel had sent to everyone, just a little shelf type cooler where the tins were kept. She just pulled it right off the shelf. And, well, the tin's very different. It's supposed to, I guess, be sealed more tightly. And when you try to bust it open, even now, and I've had this for a couple weeks, you can see I'm in air left. It's a pain in the butt to open. 15 pouches. I can't remember how many pouches were in the old one. I think it's the same. The pouches seem slightly smaller. They definitely don't last as long. So I was, when Camel first launched snus, I was very impressed because I'd had a few really quality snoozes before, and they lasted me half an hour plus, and the Camel Snus was doing that. These don't really do this. I read someone reviewed these and said something like 15 or 20 minutes. I'm not even getting that. For me, it's closer to 10 before they start getting a little too waterlogged sweet. And speaking of sweet, that is what they are. They're sweet, which goes back to how I started this video. It does seem that there's a lot more than just tobacco in here. So that the flavor has changed, it's a little sweeter. Now, I don't know what was in the Robust before, but I liked to think it was just tobacco. Like I said, it's a lot sweeter, and a more sinister thing is that this doesn't have to be chilled at all. It's just stored on a shelf. And if it's stored on a shelf, what has been added to keep it fresh? So, disappointing. I'd be curious to know what those of you who have used this recently have thought, if you've noted any change. Not a big snus fanboy, but I like being able to step into the convenience store and grab a tin at a whim. But I'm not going to in the future. Guess I have to go back to the occasional purchase of a premium, or if someone wants to make a recommendation, if there's something else out there that's slightly mainstream, I'd love to hear it. There it is, Camel Snus, Robust or otherwise. Sad day, boo.